What's going on YouTube? Mark here. So it's time to get back onto the Jeep build. I've got the Jeep back in the bay here. It's time to do some sound deadening. I got my box of SoundSkins. Let's get started. To begin the sound treatment procedure on the Jeep, I of course had to start with removing the whole interior. When removing an interior, keep a plastic bin handy for all the bolts and clips. You can use a different bin for different areas of the vehicle in order to keep things organized. Before disconnecting any wire harnesses, it is always a good idea to disconnect the negative battery terminal on the vehicle. Once the interior is fully removed, it's time to prep the interior sheet metal for applying sound treatment materials. The first thing that I like to do is vacuum the entire surface. Dirt can sink down through the carpet over time and will prevent the sound insulation materials from creating a perfect bond. After vacuuming, I also like to wipe down everything with rubbing alcohol and a rag. Now I can start applying some SoundSkins sound insulation. I always test fit a piece first and mark out any of the bolt holes that I need to make cutouts for. I cut the material outside of the vehicle and then remove the adhesive backing paper and stick the material into position. Now you can see I have all the sound deadening material, the SoundSkins up here in the front of the vehicle. Took the time to make sure that all the SoundSkins logos are oriented in the same direction. Sometimes it's those little things. Now I decided to do this sound treatment install in two phases. I wanted to get the front seats back installed before sound treating the rear of the vehicle. First though, I wanted to make sure I took a look at addressing the vibrating wires. Those of you that follow me on Instagram may have seen my post talking about how a commonly overlooked item in the sound treatment process is preventing wire vibrations. Wires can easily vibrate against metal surfaces and the plastic interior panels once we add a powerful subwoofer. To address this issue, I wrap closed-cell foam around the wires and secure that foam using Tessa tape. Links to all the products used in this video is available down in the video description. Now, once I install this system, I don't have to worry about wire vibrations under the seats or in the center console. I'll also address this later in the back of the vehicle. So we're on to step number 2 of the build. I've got the whole interior put back in. That's what's kind of nice about these Jeeps, is because the whole interior is kind of built in sections, so it's easy to do everything in the front first. But now we're going to turn our attention to the back. We're going to get everything all cleaned up. I've got some wire harnesses here that are obviously going to create noise once we add the subwoofer in here, so we want to treat those. And then of course we're going to continue to treat all the sheet metal with our SoundSkins. Let's get it done. Here's a good tip for you. When you're connecting wiring harnesses back to the vehicle using the plastic retaining clips, you should first apply a piece of cloth Tessa tape to the surface. Make sure you have a small hole cut into this Tessa tape, and you can then push the clip through that hole and it will be isolated from the metal surface, decreasing the chance for vibrations. I repeat this process for all the wires in the rear of the vehicle, and then I can move on to applying more sound deadening. The wheel wells in any vehicle are important to address since they are a source of a lot of noise. They're usually a difficult shape to cover as well, but I found the best way to address this is to cover the side as much as possible and then the top, and then to use thin strips to cover the transition between the two. Here you can see I'm covering the transition between the bottom of the vertical surface and the floor using a thin strip. The Jeep interior is now completely sound treated. I'll have some more to do once I get around to installing the speakers, so be sure to check back for that video. A big thanks goes out to SoundSkins for sending out a bulk pack of material to use for this build. If you'd like to learn more about this material in detail, be sure to check out the video that I made on the right side of the screen. Also, if you want to see what I have planned for installing into this Jeep build, you can check out the Rockford Fosgate unboxing video on the right side as well. As always, thank you for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you're updated when I release new videos for this Jeep build. A special thanks goes out to Brian, Emmanuel, Ali, EJ, Rory, Eddie, Truman, and Jerry, along with the rest of the Patreon support team. Thank you for supporting these videos.